What's up guys, Kevin Cage here. Be sure to like, sub, and pay close attention to this video. Got a bunch of information and let's get into it. So I want to preface saying happy October 1st. This is the beginning of the fourth quarter of the fiscal year coming to a close quickly, and we know that swell is roughly 2 weeks away. And also yesterday, September 30th, XRP reached its 1,000-day anniversary since reaching its all-time high price of $3.84 on January 4th, 2018. 1,000 days passed in a blink of an eye. I mean, to me, it seems like it's been forever, but also, went by rather quickly. So we know that bear cycles, there have been some shorter ones in the crypto history, and there's also been some longer ones. Bottom line is, I think we can agree that we are edging ever closer to some serious price action. I think that it's going to be a combination of speculation and utility driving this market, and you want to have a healthy balance of both. Right now, it is largely, 90% speculation. Luckily, though, XRP and a few other digital assets are some of the few that are actually solving real problems for real customers, and I do like their top-down approach, just like the internet, instead of being radical like Bitcoin. And, I like radical ideology to an extent, but let's be real here. I want a return on my investment. I, think that it's going to be a lot more practical working with regulators day in and day out, working with the system instead of trying to manipulate and change it from the outside. And that is just my opinion. I'm sure you guys, there's going to be plenty that disagree, dislike. That is completely fine. So I also wanted, talking about the 1,000-day anniversary, and I also wanted to share this commentary by the International Monetary Fund, and this is by boy_XRP, definite follow, sharing this on the imfconnect.org website, talking about some commentary for Bitcoin-like assets. And this is another reason why this gentleman, Philosophy of Met, and me agree that we're going to be holding a portion of our XRP for life regardless, whatever price points you want to take profit. I am leaving a good portion on the table because you just never know when liquidity is truly developed. When liquidity happens, and there's plenty of buyers and sellers at a variety of price points, this market will have depth. It will be able to transfer additional assets. It will be able to transfer higher value. It just has this type of black hole, this flywheel effect. So right here, these BLCAs, Bitcoin-like assets, and talking about they should be classified as non-financial assets. Is it internet-based money? Is it a medium of exchange? Is it even accepted as one? Is it a store of value? How can it be a store of value on its own? So this IMF staff report on measuring the digital economy states this. They clarified that Bitcoin-like assets do not qualify as money in the current monetary and financial statistics framework. Nevertheless, the report notes that if and when digital currencies become widely accepted as a medium of exchange, which I see happening, consideration will be given to their inclusion in a broader measure of liquidity. To me, that is extremely telling, and it essentially, I believe, and feel free to disagree, that the assets that are solving the biggest problems are going to have the highest level of liquidity and the highest valuation. Remember, the crypto assets, typically, depending on the network, are of finite supply. And now, yes, I know there's different circulating supplies. Each network is different, but right now I'm just focusing on XRP. There is a finite supply that will never change. The circulating supply may change over time due to the smart contracts, but at the end of the day, these are multi-trillion-dollar problems. There's going to be a variety of multiplier effects. There's holding XRP as collateral. There's plenty to drive this ecosystem. If anyone says that this ecosystem or XRP will never hit $1, they simply do not understand what is at play here. In my mind, it is truly all or nothing. Right here, Real XRP Boy sharing this old clip of Chris Larson. It's just 6 seconds, and he essentially is just saying Bitcoin, it can't be a store of value for store of value's sake. It's going to be based off of utility, something along those lines. Let me play that.
You can't just be a store of value for store of value's sake. It has to actually have a use case, and that's how we see this evolving.
And keep in mind, Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, all of these gentlemen, just Ripple themselves, have been working with regulators, the IMF right here, the Bank of International Settlements, central banks, educating them with CBDCs, consultant-like roles, without any conspiracies whatsoever. I think you guys understand that Ripple is extremely well connected, and a lot of these companies, such as R3 as well, are going to be working on some big things. All right, we also saw in recent news, we saw SIA, S-I-A, based out of Italy, and they launched this new platform that allows banks to fully digitize trade finance processes. Everything's going digital. We're going to show a few more examples in this video as well. And SIA, remember, the gentleman over there has direct ties, and he said they're working with the big players, and he named Ripple and R3. And also they're working with Quant, with Overledger and their cryptocurrency QNT. All right, let's keep going. Next, I want to talk about this. So remember, Goldman Sachs joins the syndicate for Ant IPO, remember, of up to $30 billion. In recent days, we've also seen up to $35 billion, which would lead to one of the highest valuations in history of $350 billion for Ant. We know their connections, of course. Ant is backed by Chinese e-commerce giant Alibaba. Remember, Alipay is one of the largest mobile networks in the world. And we can see a variety of other connections as well. We know that many RippleNet customers are backed by Goldman Sachs. Their hand is in every cookie jar. So right here, $350 valuation I was talking about, world's largest IPO, absolutely crazy. Talking about Ant now launching their blockchain-based cross-border trade platform on the 25th of September. Notice, Ant Group unveiling this. This is called Trustful. I believe Crypto Eddie has done a comprehensive breakdown of this. I've not seen it yet, but I definitely recommend checking it out. And also just talking about the actual use case, blockchain DLT, improving cross-border trade in any way. Obviously, XRP is aiming at getting rid of pre-funded accounts, and it has a variety of other applications. And there's not just going to be like crypto assets are going to solve problems, and there's going to also be blockchain and DLT that does not utilize crypto assets. That is what people need to understand, okay? So we'll keep going here, and something I wanted to cover is right here. So they lined up several global banks. Some of you may recognize several of these with connections to Ripple. We have BNP Paribas out of France. We have Citi. We have DBS, of course, mentioning Ripple a variety of times, even XRP in some slides that we've shown on this channel. Deutsche Bank, one of the biggest banks, and Standard Chartered, one of the original investors of Ripple. And yes, we know, if I haven't said it already, I do often allude to their connection with Ant, of course, in bed together, and also their platform Access. All right, so we'll keep going. Just keep an eye on these types of developments in particular. Next, I wanted to go over this article shared by Val5 Links. So right here, guys, Ripple's partner, Nium, N-I-U-M, will help Aspire, and Aspire is actually based out of Singapore, another fintech hotbed, issue virtual Visa cards integrated with Google Pay. So not directly Ripple, but I'm just showing you digitalization, virtual cards, and also some direct connections and expansion into the ecosystem. And I'll show you where they're also getting a license to basically be licensed in 20 states in the US as well. So right here, they've inked a collaboration deal with Aspire from Singapore to help build its virtual corporate Visa cards that work via Google Pay. All right, we've talked about Google Pay, we've talked about Apple Pay. Yes, I know there are some ILP trials as well, but bottom line, very interesting. Okay, so remember, Visa won the battle against MasterCard to acquire RippleNet's partner, Earthport, as well. And then in a previous video, I showed you what MasterCard was up to as well. So right here, Nium partners with Visa Direct as well for, and I said as well about 100 times already, to Indonesia. And remember, Indian rupee, Indonesia rupiah. So just IA rupiah, the currency for them. So it's not the first Ripple partner that has struck a similar partnership. Prior to Nium, the remittance giant MoneyGram started doing the same in the US. And sorry I keep butchering this name. It makes me sound like I'm saying like a race car noise every time I say it. All right, now, remember back in 2017, Ripple's blockchain network is now more than 100 strong. We have a few members here that we recognize and we've talked about before. D-Local, of course, connected with Ant as well, and Alipay. But now we have TransferGo, but now this is the one I want you to pay attention to, Airwallex. All right, so now we'll move on to the recent news shared by Matthew Liny. Fintech unicorn Airwallex, and I believe they're based out of Australia actually, raises $200 million in capital in US expansion plan to compete with Stripe. And this is what I was talking about with the monetary license, excuse me. I thought it was Nium, so my bad there. And now they're also a Ripple partner competing with a Ripple partner. Very interesting. So Stripe, guys, is potentially going to be going public as well. We can see right here, the last valuation for this company in a private fundraising round was about $36 billion. Insane, okay? Now we'll talk about Airwallex a little bit. Notice this firm has already secured money transmitter licenses in 20 US states and expects to have the paperwork completed for more by next year. Awesome. Again, expansion, digitalization, all of this is going to bring crypto adoption faster. So we are not essentially on against each other. It is almost like true, co-opetition, sure, cooperation, competition. But at the end of the day, I just want digitalization to happen. Whatever groups do it, awesome, because I want crypto adoption. Now, I want to talk about this recent hack. So KuCoin hacker removes $4.5 million of stolen XRP. Please be safe. Know how to operate cold storage or a hot wallet, completely up to you. Yes, there are ledger links in the video description, and there are a variety of other options you have as well. Personally though, I do like using the Ledger Nanos. Some people don't, and that is completely fine. It is up to user preference. I do like the ability to stake my assets and earn passive income as well. So interestingly enough, you can click down here in this link with the whale alert, and you can see the transaction deals of this transaction. 18 million XRP were on the move. You can keep track and try to track it as best as you can. And I love how they actually label it KuCoin Hack 2020. All right. Now, wanted to share this and just close this video out so we know everybody wants to claim Spark tokens if you are an XRP holder. Who doesn't like free money? Who doesn't like airdrops? I'm completely with you. Just wanted to share something right here. So we have Brother in Arms sharing this distribution. We know that there's about 45 billion XRP tokens that are distributed to non-Ripple Labs holders. These are distributed across holders who self-custody like us, and those that keep their XRP on an exchange or another provider. So there will be a snapshot taken in December of the specific ledger, and this is how you will be able to claim your assets. So some of you have already claimed your Spark tokens. Some of you are going to move your assets to an exchange like Uphold or Bitrue, and then they'll automatically give you your Spark tokens if you have XRP on that platform. Might be the easiest option for some of you, but if you hold large holdings, I completely respect and understand that it is scary trusting an exchange. So please do what is best for you. And as that time comes, I'll probably be talking more about it, and I might even just show some more tutorials if you guys have specific questions. All right, and if I don't know it, I'll learn it and then I'll teach it. All right, so I wanted to show Flair's commentary with David Schwartz of Ripple, and this is really interesting. So right here, they are allowing David Schwartz, it seems, to take part in the Spark distribution, but they're monitoring who can and cannot take place in this or take part in this. Now, some of you might be upset. I am personally not. I completely get it. It is Flair's initiative. They should decide who's eligible. Bottom line is all of us retail everyday people are, and that's a good thing in my book. And they want the ecosystem to succeed. They do not want everybody dumping their token and to have sell pressure. They want a healthy and strong ecosystem. So right here, talking to David Schwartz, we are honored that you are claiming your Spark tokens. All current and almost all past Ripple employees can claim Spark with the XRP that they hold personally. We are excluding Jed. Remember, now he's with Stellar, Jed's XRP from the distribution. So they're not giving, because Jed doesn't seem to be the biggest XRP fan and also sells XRP on, a monthly basis per the contracts. They don't want to just give someone Spark that could potentially dump on the network and affect Flare as well. It doesn't make any sense. So I completely get this. I know there are some people in the comment section that are beyond triggered as well. But right here, and just continuing to read on, we took the decision to exclude Jed as the consistent sales of XRP having a negative effect on the psychology of the market. So they don't say it actually has a negative effect on the market. And I know people have broken it down to show both views. They said on the psychology of the market. It is clear he is not an XRP supporter. Spark attributable to his XRP holdings are being distributed equally to all other valid claimants. All right. Notice, we do not know Jed beyond one call and have absolutely no animosity towards him or Stellar. Flare is intended to bring utility to the XRP ledger. That is their mission, so you can't really blame them for doing what they feel is best as a business decision. We reserve the right to structure the initiation of the network in the way we think necessary to achieve the objective. So my question for you guys down below is, do you think this is fair? We have To the Lifeboats here, Sam right here saying, I think that's a sound decision. You want people who want to support the network, not see it fail out of spite. I completely get that. We have another gentleman, just saying it's not right because they hold the power to yield or, control this as well, and who can and cannot claim tokens. Both views are, completely appropriate, and I completely respect it. But at the end of the day, all I care about is XRP appreciating. You guys might be in a different boat. All right. So all in all, just to kind of review what we've covered, IMF commentary talking about certain assets and crypto assets becoming widely accepted and getting a broader measure of liquidity, which is extremely, extremely powerful. Please understand how big this potentially is. We have Goldman Sachs in bed with a lot of these groups, and Financial. We know that they're also in bed with some direct and arguably indirect RippleNet partners, some of the biggest global banks as well. We've talked about Neum and Google Pay as well. We got, let's see, Airwallex with their valuation going against Stripe and other counterparts expanding in the US, the KuCoin hack. Please be safe with any assets, guys. There are so many security measures that I recommend taking. It goes way beyond just, typical smart thinking. So please take extra precautions. You can never be too safe. And anyone in cybersecurity understands that you are never 100% safe. You can just try to create as many layers as possible, just like a firewall and just like anything in between. All right, transaction details, and then also the Spark distribution edging ever closer. This is the beginning of the fourth quarter. What do you anticipate XRP will be doing in terms of price this month? Thanks so much.